Imagine a place where mountains pierce the heavens and clouds caress the rock with a temporary shroud. A place where meadows roll like carpets of green into infinite valleys surrounding motionless lakes. A place where palm trees bask in the sun below glaciers that rise like rivers of eternal ice notching the sky. And then imagine a synchronized travel system where trains glide over gorges spanned by towering bridges and burrow through mountains as if tunneling into a world where past and present become one, where boats and lake steamers drift past honey-colored villages, or a brilliant profusion of flowers, or the watchful serenity of medieval bell towers, where cable cars float gracefully suspended on wires that disappear into another realm, and where funiculars climb along vertical pathways to settings that peer into miniature worlds below. There is such a place where transportation is an art form, a place where travelers can make the scene while Mother Nature creates the scenery, a place we know as Switzerland. Switzerland is a country on the move. From the moment you arrive, you know that the Swiss travel system is unique. An exercise in precision that whisks you from airport to train and on to your destination in a matter of minutes. Perhaps Paul Thoreau said it best when he wrote that travel is flight and pursuit in equal parts. And there's no better place to experiment with that theory than in Switzerland. Here you can travel for travel's sake, free to experience the exhilaration of discovery along serpentine ribbons of steel through an ever-changing array of scenery. Here is a system combining comfort and convenience with clockwork coordination to make travel a delight and each a treasure chest of adventure. The Swiss is no accident. Rather, it is a concept perfected over time into a superb method of moving travelers throughout the country. At the Swiss Transport Museum on the shores of Lake Lucerne, nostalgic displays recall days when magnificent machines conquered overwhelming geography to bring the process of travel to new heights. Traveling in Switzerland can make you feel temporarily transformed into the pages of Alice in Wonderland or Gulliver's Travels. For one moment, you feel larger than life, and in the next, miniaturized the awesome magnitude of the Alps. Trains are the heart of the system, linking the Swiss Federal Railways with over 400 privately operated lines to form a synchronized method of travel. Fast trains, leisurely trains, panoramic trains. In Switzerland, you can visit the highest railway station in Europe, or ride slow-moving trains past glaciers that rise to the crest of the world, or simply sit back and savor ever-changing vistas that are a feast for the senses. But if trains are the heart, then other forms of transportation connect this marvelous web of movement into a cohesive system. It begins in the cities and towns where buses and trams operate continuously to link central access points with outlying areas. The modern double-decked S-Bahn in Zurich provides frequent, efficient service for commuters in the region. And throughout the country, the famed Swiss postal buses are scheduled to arrive and depart within minutes of regular train services, taking passengers as well as mail to places not served by train. In many places, trains link with lake steamers. In some places, funiculars go right from the rail station to the center of the city. And in other areas, funiculars even coordinate with lake steamers, so travel is virtually continuous. Rack railroads are also part of the system, or perhaps a cable car to elevate your spirits. You see, wherever you want to go in Switzerland, the travel system can get you there and back, even if only to use the oldest form of transportation known to man. The Swiss travel system, it runs like clockwork, of course, and all it takes is a little basic training. Mention the name Switzerland and alpine images first come to mind. Rightly so, for Switzerland is the product of millions of years of sculpture at the hands of Mother Nature. In the dawn of time, what are now the rivers Rhine, Rhone, Reuss, and Ticino combined to carve out the mountain chains we know today. But Switzerland is more than a mountainous wonderland. It is the crossroads of the continent, where its rivers and streams flow into 58 lakes in an area about half the size of the state of Maine. In Switzerland, water sets the stage for a backdrop of twin-towered cathedrals, ancient covered bridges, terraced vineyards, and picturesque castles. Rivers and lakes are the life's blood of this country known as the reservoir of Europe, where nature works overtime and postcards seem to come alive. Here, every large city is on a lake, or a river, or both. Zurich is situated on the river Limmat, which spills into the northern tip of Lake Zurich. The great international city of Geneva is nestled on the shores of Switzerland's largest body of water, Lake Geneva. The castle of Chillon, immortalized by Lord Byron, juts from the coast of Montreux on the northeastern shore of Lake Geneva. In Basel, the borders of Germany and France meet Switzerland along the Rhine, while Romanshorn in northeastern Switzerland lies on Lake Constance. Here, boats provide frequent service to Germany and Austria. The medieval capital city of Bern, with its arcaded streets, is built along a peninsula carved by the meandering river Ari. A special kind of splendor can be found at Interlaken, located between two lovely lakes. Southern Switzerland is graced with the beauty of Lugano that basks in the sunshine of the Italian-speaking region. There's a Mediterranean flair in Locarno as well. This rustic treasure is also the gateway to the Cento Valley Railway, and Lucerne is a favorite with its romantic Chapel Bridge. In a country famous for banking, its rivers and streams are its greatest liquid assets, and that adds to the interest. For water is Switzerland's only natural resource, creating much of the beauty in a land found somewhere under a rainbow. Every country has its own special moods, its own distinct faces, and Switzerland is no different. Its character is influenced by its four languages: German, French, Italian, and Romansh, a mixture of cultures that blend with the surroundings to create a place like no other. Switzerland is one of the oldest democracies in the world, with 700 years of history. The land of William Tell, a land that inspired the likes of Rossini and Schiller and Byron. It is 75% mountainous, a place of perpendicular proportions, majestic, eternal upheavals of rock where glaciers are covered with blankets of snow and perpetual layers of ice. Titans of nature that Byron once called frozen hurricanes, where you can stand at the top of the world and feel as though you can see the ends of the earth. But Switzerland is also a place that feels the rhythms of nature, where lush meadows roll gently up hillsides and down to its shorelines, where babbling brooks give birth to the great waterways of Europe, where the watershed divides the flow of rivers toward the North Sea and the Mediterranean. There are summer tableaus where valleys curve in carpets of green, where palm trees blow gracefully, and cactus plants surprise nearly everyone, where flowers grow brilliant and bold. Here, sailboats race with the wind. Here, cows and sheep graze at the base of the heavens. And here, castles merely grow old. Taste the traditions at sidewalk cafes. Watch cheese being made. Stroll idly through colorful markets, or savor a delicious fondue. Each city and town offers something unique. Basel and Bern are cultural centers. Geneva played an important role in the Protestant Reformation. Zurich's Bahnhofstrasse is a mecca for shoppers. Lausanne is the home of the Olympic Committee. Lugano and Locarno are lakeside jewels on the border of Italy. And Lucerne is a treasure chest of narrow streets and colorful facades. Yes, Switzerland is truly an extravaganza, a geological garden where calendar photographs seem to come alive. One need only take time to visit for an experience that is just picture perfect. It has been written that some of life's most exhilarating pleasures are the simplest. The Swiss travel system is positive proof of that statement, with a variety of transportation services that make Switzerland easy to discover. Today's travelers yearn for independence, the ability to explore at their own pace according to their own whims and fancies. That's because the nature of travel is a completely personal enterprise. Time was when flexibility was an expensive travel proposition, but no more. And no place is more manageable than Switzerland, for the frequency, diversity, and range of its transportation system makes independent travel a reality. A concept that is not only delightful, but affordable as well. If your gateway is Zurich or Geneva, both airports feature railway stations right at the facility, making the connection from planes to trains fast and convenient. Distances are short in Switzerland, and that compact size, combined with the versatility of the travel system, makes it easy to use one or two cities as a base and take day trips throughout the country. The capital city of Bern is in the German part of the nation. Interlaken, near Bern, also has a German influence, as does Lucerne in central Switzerland, which is only an hour by train from Zurich. Basel is the junction where Switzerland meets Germany and France. Geneva and Montreux, on the shores of Lake Geneva, are nestled in the French-speaking region. In Zermatt, you can ski into Italy, or take the leisurely 7-hour trip on the Glacier Express to St. Moritz. But whether you choose to set up a base or stay on the move, only Switzerland can offer so many convenient methods of travel. Imagine starting by rail with an intercity train, then take a funicular or cogwheel, followed by a cable car, and later a postal bus, before completing the day with a relaxing cruise aboard a lake steamer. Sound impossible? Not in Switzerland. The transportation system is that flexible. Each trip is an adventure within itself, yet unified by the system, each scheduled to interconnect with the other, and all with plenty of time to savor the destination and the glorious beauty of Switzerland.
How are you doing, man?
Switzerland has many one-of-a-kind excursions that go over, around, and through the country. Here are just a few of the classic panoramic journeys you'll discover. It may just be the most famous rail excursion in Switzerland, and it's also the longest. The Glacier Express is a magnificent 7.5-hour adventure that travels between Zermatt and St. Moritz, from the glorious Matterhorn to the top of the continent in one breathtaking excursion. From the comfort of a panoramic car, you experience the magical beauty of the Swiss alpine world, including the Oberalp Pass at nearly 7,000 feet. Here you pass through unspoiled forests, the solitude of lush alpine pastures, the rushing waters of pure mountain streams, and the awesome expanse of limitless valleys. This is a fantasy on rails as you cross nearly 300 bridges and glide through more than 90 tunnels. The Glacier Express is a guided tour through the world of Swiss innovation and the breathtaking sculpture of nature's creative hand. The Swiss town of Chur is one of the oldest in the country, tracing its ancestry nearly 5,000 years. It's also a major connecting point for many Swiss trains and home of the world-famous Bernina Express. Going between Chur and Lugano, the Bernina Express travels through the Albula Valley and the Bernina Pass. This north-south alpine crossing travels across the canton of Graubünden for over 100 miles as it passes through tunnels and tunnels through passes. Though not as long or as well known as the Glacier Express, the Bernina Express is equally stunning and dramatic, boldly making its way across curved viaducts of overwhelming proportions, burrowing through winding tunnels and majestic galleries, and coasting around the enduring snows of ice-age glaciers. Another unique feature of the Bernina Express is the circular viaduct. It's as picturesque as it is unusual. And on the impressive trip over the Bernina Pass, the train climbs more than 7,000 feet above sea level without the aid of rack and pinion tracks. The southern portion of the train trip ends in Tirano, where the journey continues by bus through Italy before returning to Switzerland at Lugano. When you take the Golden Pass between Montreux and Lucerne, it's almost like getting two classic rail adventures in one. At the same time, you experience the flavor of the French and German-speaking regions by linking Lake Geneva to historic central Switzerland with stops in Montreux, Stade, and Interlaken. The Crystal Panoramic Express is designed with the engineer's cab above the first car, so passengers can get an unobstructed view from the front of the train. Complete with a service area for food and drinks, the lounge features panoramic windows that look out to the seemingly endless vineyards rising above Lake Geneva, before yielding to the serenity of the rolling terrain of the Golden Pass route. While the Crystal Panoramic Express goes only as far as the tiny village of Zweisimmen, the Golden Pass continues to Interlaken and beyond. At Interlaken, you may choose a detour to visit the Jungfrau or Schilthorn, or perhaps take a lake steamer to the wood-carving village of Brienz, where you rejoin the train. But whether you go from Interlaken by water or by rail, complete your Golden Pass adventure on the Brunig Panorama Express. Enjoy the lively Swiss card game of Jas with a glass of wine or a beer in a specially designed coach. Or simply sit by the oversized windows and gaze at ever-changing vistas as the train makes its way over the Brunig Pass to Lucerne. It's an adventure not to be missed. It's the golden opportunity. The Swiss Confederation traces its roots more than 700 years to the region around Lake Lucerne. Little wonder, then, that the lake steamer portion of the William Tell Express is as popular with the Swiss as it is with visitors. The William Tell Express is a combination boat-rail excursion which operates from May through September between Lucerne and the Italian-speaking region of Ticino. Enjoy a typical lunch on a nostalgic paddle steamer as it makes its way across the Lake of Lucerne past Schiller Rock and historic villages that played a vital role in the legend of the Swiss national hero William Tell. The rail portion of the trip takes you through the famed St. Gothard Pass, including a series of spiral tunnels that meander past the picturesque chapel at Wassen. At Bellinzona, the train makes a stop before going on to the resorts of either Lugano or Locarno. Detailed documentation explaining the significance of the historic landmarks along the way is also included. And from now on, when you hear the William Tell Overture, you will never think of the Lone Ranger again. From the moment you enter the bright modern station for the Cento Valley Railway, you know that you're about to embark on something truly special. The walls of the station feature photographs of the many cultural landmarks along the route, and the state-of-the-art panoramic trains are suitably designed to enhance the experience. In fact, this little journey is so enjoyable that even bad weather won't spoil the fun. From the shores of Lake Maggiore to the beguiling Renaissance charms of Italy, the Cento Valley Railway may just be the most romantic train ride in Europe. Connecting Locarno in Switzerland and Domodossola in Italy, this pleasant 1-hour, 30-minute trip blends large quantities of scenery with captivating villages and rustic architecture to create a recipe for pure holiday enjoyment. The name Cento Valley means 100 valleys, but as you glide across trestles past ancient medieval churches or gaze through the window at rushing rivers and stunning waterfalls, 100 doesn't seem like enough. From Domodossola, you can change trains to the French-speaking region of Switzerland, or simply return to Locarno. Either way, you'll discover that the Cento Valley Railway is one of the most delightful train rides you'll ever encounter. Not all the great panoramic trips in Switzerland are rail journeys, and the Palm Express is a perfect example. These relaxing excursions aboard super-service Swiss postal buses are an excellent way to see more of the country and tiptoe into Italy as well. The Palm Express is seasonal, operating only in summer and autumn between Lugano and San Moritz by way of the Maloja Pass. Along the route, you'll experience the ambiance of the well-known health and holiday resorts of the Upper Engadine, as well as the Mediterranean charms of villages with streets so narrow that you'll marvel at how the bus is able to navigate through them. There are brief rest stops during the 4-hour drive down from the mountains and then along the coast. And because of the well-designed Swiss travel system, there is no difficulty with rail connections in any Palm Express city. From majestic alpine scenery to Mediterranean flair, all in just a few hours aboard the Palm Express. In addition to these classic journeys, you may also discover vantage point mountain peaks in Switzerland, such as Pilatus, the Rigi, Santis, and the Rocher de Nez, to name a few. Unspoiled natural settings dominate the surroundings of northwestern Switzerland in the region of Jura and Lake Neuchâtel, where a train may transport you even further back in time to the days of a horse and carriage, or witness the breathtaking vistas of the Matterhorn and the Jungfrau from railroads that climb toward the clouds. Electric Swiss trains through electrifying Swiss scenery. Rails speak to us with voices that whisper tales of discovery, echoing a travel system where adventure awaits around every bend. Proof of the age-old expression that one good turn deserves another. As the needs for efficient public transportation continue to grow, the Swiss Federal Railways and other transport systems are constantly seeking new solutions to meet those needs. But combined with society's insatiable appetite for mobility, there are environmental concerns as well. More than 300 million passengers use intercity express or regional trains in Switzerland each year, making it the densest rail network in the world. Today, a benchmark is being established by Switzerland's Rail 2000 system, an integrated web that allows people to travel easily, conveniently, and comfortably. Zurich's double-decked S-Bahn is the showpiece of public transportation, which is a major aspect of the joint effort between federal and private railway systems, trams, ships, and buses to guarantee regular interconnecting services throughout the country. Other countries are also adopting two-level rolling stock in an effort to keep commuters on the move and at the same time preserve the environment as well. Yet the need for rapid rail transportation over long distances has also increased. The result? State-of-the-art high-speed rail systems in many European countries. With its compact size, Switzerland doesn't require ultra-high-speed trains of its own. But because of its central location to other European destinations, the access to such services is necessary. Therefore, some primary lines link TGVs into France, while others connect ICE trains with Germany and pendolinos to Italy. All part of the magic of rail travel in Switzerland. Switzerland's short distances have never made sleeping cars a necessity either. But through a cooperative effort between the railways of German-speaking countries, City Nightline is now providing nighttime-only sleepers between Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. Enjoy a drink and good conversation in the lounge, or have a relaxing dinner in the luxury of the dining car before retiring to your sleeping accommodations. Standard seats are shaped like a crescent to allow privacy and quiet, and the seats also recline to provide even more comfort. Standard sleepers are designed with upstairs or downstairs compartments, all complete with water basins, bottled water, towels, and even a comforter that enhances your appreciation of the journey. If you prefer the very best, there are several suites which include a private shower. Regardless of whether you have a suite or a compartment, however, you awaken to breakfast served right to your room. The Swiss travel system and its transportation services never stop seeking new ways to make travel more fun and interesting. Panoramic cars have long been a tradition for many Swiss rail companies, so it's little wonder that new carriages are being added all the time. The oversized picture windows of the Voralpen Express, linking Lake Constance and Romanshorn with Lucerne in central Switzerland, is a perfect example. Another is the Brunig Railway, connecting the Lake of Lucerne with a line through the lovely Brunig Pass to the lakes of Thun and Brienz at Interlaken. And don't be surprised to see golden arches along the way either. Just board a train with a McDonald's car on it, and there's a Happy Meal or a Big Mac and fries waiting for you, even in Switzerland. Railway stations are also looking to the future, such as the modern computerized facilities in Lucerne and Stadelhofen Station in Zurich. Designed by the Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava, Stadelhofen stands out as a shining example of blending the old with the new. The Swiss Federal Railways, in collaboration with private enterprise, have created a tour package called Swiss Adventure. Especially appealing for outdoor enthusiasts, this innovative rail inclusive program includes everything from paragliding to canoeing and whitewater rafting, to windsurfing, to mountain bike tours, to name a few. And speaking of cycling, there are some 4,000 bikes that visitors can rent at over 200 Swiss railway stations. It's all part of the alliance that makes the Swiss travel system a journey through the imagination. The most popular access points to Switzerland are the international gateway airports in Zurich, Geneva, and Basel. Zurich and Geneva are linked to the entire Swiss rail system by their railway stations, so that your holiday can begin within minutes of arrival. Luggage carts are readily available before clearing customs to make your transition smooth and efficient. And they're designed to fit right on the escalators, so you hardly need to break your stride. When you purchase a ticket on the Swiss travel system, you open the door to new horizons, and there are several options available to suit your needs and itinerary. The Swiss Pass entitles you to unlimited trips on the entire system, which covers 9,000 miles of railroad, boat, and postal bus routes, plus trams and buses in major Swiss cities. Tickets are first or second class and good for several validity periods. Swiss Pass also includes major reductions on most mountain railways and panoramic routes. Swiss FlexiPass allows unlimited use of the Swiss travel network for any 3 days of travel during a 15-day period. Swiss FlexiPass is available in first or second class with all the same privileges as the Swiss Pass. If you're staying in one place for an extended period, a Swiss card might be the answer. Travel from the border or airport station to your destination and back is free, and all other train, boat, or postal bus tickets during your stay are half price. There are also reductions for mountain railways. Upon request, a Swiss family card will be issued free of charge to adults traveling with a Swiss Pass, Swiss FlexiPass, or a Swiss card. A Swiss family card allows children under 16 in a family to travel free of charge when accompanied by at least one parent. Children from 6 to 16 who are not family members may receive a 50% reduction for Swiss Pass or Swiss FlexiPass, and the Swiss card is also available for children. All it takes is a simple phone call to your travel agent, or for more information, just contact your nearest Swiss tourism office. Keep in mind that prices remain constant for a full calendar year. Upon your arrival, the validation process is simple and convenient. Just present your pass at any Swiss rail office the first time you use it, and you're on your way to the wonders of Switzerland. Remember, the public transportation network is used primarily by the Swiss themselves, and that translates to a wide range of services that are often a pleasant surprise for the visitor. Larger train stations are like self-contained miniature cities, providing information, banks or money exchange, hotel reservations, newsstands, and a variety of food services. Smaller stations have all the same services either right in the facility or just a few steps away. Coin-operated lockers are usually available for storing small items for a period of 24 hours. And there is also a baggage check, or left luggage, where you can leave pieces not immediately required. Swiss train stations do not have porters, but there are numerous luggage carts for the bags you do wish to take. Getting hungry? Many stations have comfortable sit-down restaurants, and in Switzerland, many of these Bahnhof buffets are so good, they're even popular with the locals. Of course, sandwiches and snacks are also easy to find. Language is not a problem. Large and small stations alike feature pictograms with universal symbols that point you in the right direction. And at information centers, English and many other languages are readily spoken. While there are plenty of signs showing the way and guiding you to the trains, it is helpful to be able to read and understand timetables to ensure that you catch the right train. Arrivals and departures are prominently displayed in many stations with electronic boards, but there are always printed schedule posters. White posters show arrivals, yellow posters indicate departures. Be aware that schedules are shown in military time, so that 1 p.m. becomes 1300, and so on to midnight, which is 2400 hours. Electronic departure indicators display current departure times, track numbers, destinations, and sometimes the calling points en route, as well as the configuration of the trains. You may also find printed indicators of the size of the trains and where first and second class and dining cars are located. Destination placards are found on the sides of the cars. The city of origin is on top, and the final stop is at the bottom. Sometimes important stops in between are also listed. Remember, the Swiss travel system runs on time, It is a source of pride. Even when the weather is bad, the system is punctual. It is important to board a proper car on your train. Second-class coaches are distinguished by a number 2 on the outside, while first class has a large yellow strip at the top as well as a number 1 on the side. Ample space is provided for luggage, and restrooms are conveniently located at the end of each coach. Some trains even have telephone service available. Because of frequent service, reservations are not necessary on Swiss trains, with the exception of the Glacier Express and some other scenic trains. In these cases, reservations are a must. Dining cars are between a first and second class section of the intercity trains. Dining aboard a train is a delight with all the comforts of a quality restaurant, complete with linens and china. For shorter trips, lighter fare is served at your seat from a buffet trolley with a variety of drinks and snacks. Train staff are readily available on board and will check your travel documents en route and help with any questions you may have. The Swiss travel system is moving headlong into the 21st century with modern facilities like those in Lucerne, now providing computerized information, itinerary planning, specialized ticketing, and much more. And an exclusive feature for travelers using Swiss Air and its partners is the ability to obtain airline boarding cards at many train stations up to 24 hours prior to departure. In addition, for a modest supplement, Fly Rail Baggage Service lets you check luggage from your home airport right to your Swiss destination, or from a rail station in Switzerland directly to your next destination. Just show your air and rail tickets. Transportation at its finest, the way it should be, where everything connects, where one service complements another, where getting around is a delight. The Swiss travel system proves that the sky is really the limit. For more than 100 years, the Swiss Federal Railways have been making tracks through Switzerland. Swiss travel is an exercise in precision, where time seems to vanish, yet where you can have the time of your life. Once you are seated on a Swiss train, your world becomes larger. Panoramas in motion, played out on a geological stage that draws the curtain on scene after scene of magnificent beauty. What better way to see a landscape than by train? And what better landscapes to see than in Switzerland, a country that beckons to be absorbed by the senses, a celebration of scenery energized by a profusion of mountains that sometimes swallow the sky. No place in Switzerland is too remote, because the transportation system has conquered the contours of its geography. Switzerland is a place where you can feel as though you are riding down from heaven, where you can cast your fate to the winds and sail into infinity, where you can browse through villages that peer into the past, where you can walk into glaciers or dine at the top of the world, where you can step into the pages of poetry and prose, Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes, Byron's Prisoner of Chillon, Schiller's William Tell. Boarding a train is an adventure. Ahead lies the promise of bold new dimensions. Journeys into the imagination along steel pathways within machines described by Robert Louis Stevenson as a flying chain of carriages. Swiss trains have a sound all their own, bewitching whistles that can be heard far away in those in-between places. Places where sounds sing in the silence. Places where silence seems to have a sound of its own. The Swiss travel system offers such a variety of train trips, it may be difficult to choose. But whatever your tastes, there's a journey tailored for you. As someone once wrote, Travel is frequently a matter of seizing the moment. In Switzerland, the moment seizes you and captures your heart. Switzerland embraces your spirit and possesses your soul. The Swiss travel system. It's a moving experience.